Hello, and welcome to the Lund University International Podcast. On the show, you'll hear from current students, alumni, researchers, professors, and many more special guests as we explore what it's really like to live, study, and work at Lund University, a world top 100 university. My name is Fabio, and I come from Napoli, Italy. I've been studying here in Lund for 4 years, done my bachelor's, and I'm currently a master's student in European affairs. Today, we're diving into an important topic, studying with a disability at Lund University. You'll hear from Ida Holmlund, a staff member from Disability Support Services. We'll talk about what support is available, the challenges students might face, and how services are tailored to each individual's needs. Curious about undiagnosed disabilities? We've got that covered too. Plus, how to access help, who to contact, and what the process actually looks like. Whether you're an international or local student, this episode is full of practical advice and myth-busting insights to help you feel confident navigating university life with a disability. Or just to build up your awareness so you can be supportive to those around you and help create a more inclusive Lund University community. So let's welcome today Ida. Thank you for being here, and tell us a bit about your work at the Disability Support Services.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So my name is Ida, and I work as a coordinator at the department that is called Disability Support Services at Lund University. So we're a group of coordinators, and we're here to help students with a long-term disability or a permanent disability to get support to be able to have an equal access to studies.
And that's very important to increase accessibility at the university. So what kind of support is there for students who do have disabilities and are thinking of studying at Lund University or are already studying?
So we have a variety of support. It could be support regarding the lectures and seminars, such as note-taking support. You have another student that is your note-taker, taking your notes if you're not able to for example, take your notes by yourself, or it could be recording the lecture. It could also be accommodations regarding the exam situation, adapted exams, like having extension of time, or being able to sit in a smaller group or sit by yourself on an exam, or other accommodations like doing an oral examination instead of a written examination. And a lot of help with study technique in different kinds. We offer study sessions, mentor support, or tutoring regarding study technique.
Okay, so definitely a wide variety of support. And also, I imagine it comes from the different types of disabilities that students might face here at the university. So how does your office manage to support, to make sure that support is tailored to each individual student's needs?
So we always offer our students a meeting, a dialogue there where we discuss what kind of support that each unique student needs. What are the challenges in the study situation and in different phases of the study? Is it regarding study technique or is it regarding the exams? So we try to tailor from each unique student. It's a discussion between me as a coordinator and the student, and we meet every student that wants to meet us. They can choose if they want to meet us at our office or digitally in a video meeting.
Okay, that's perfect. And to take us a bit through the step-by-step, how can a student start this process into asking support if they need?
We have many students that contact us through email to ask questions on how to do the application and what certificate do they need. And they need to prepare their arrival to Lund University, for example. Once you are admitted and you have your student account, you can apply in our system. So we have a digital web form. It's a system where we coordinators work. You fill in a web form, you upload a certificate stating your disability or disabilities and what kind of help you need. And in that application form, they can mark if they want a meeting with us. If you don't have your student account yet, with many students, international students, get it closer to arrival, we can always prepare and we can always have the meeting before doing the formal application process. So usually a student email me writing, "Hi, I'm coming. I would like to know more about support and prepare my support." And we set up a meeting.
Okay, where can students find that information?
They can find it on our website. So if you search for disability support services at Lund University websites, you can find our pictures and names and contacts, telephone numbers and email.
What about instead students that feel like they have an undiagnosed disability, they do not know yet, and they're asking, in this case, for help from you to understand what they're going through?
Yeah, we only meet and have the availability to give support to students with a documented disability. It doesn't always have to be a diagnosis, but it always has to be a document from someone at the healthcare system. So it could be a doctor, a psychologist, or some other person at the healthcare system. We need to have this document or certificate to be able to go take the next step. But we have a lot of questions from students, local and international, who doesn't have a diagnosed disability. Then I think Lund University have a lot of options for those people as well. So we have an academic support center that is open for all students, and they help with study technique and academic writing and reading. They offer lectures, consultations, and study sessions. There is also another department called Student Health Center that have group activities. For example, they have a group of activity called Organize and Plan, Get Started with Your Studying. And you don't need a diagnosis or a documented disability to attend that course. You can sign up for it yourself through their website. And that group is available. There's one group in Swedish and there's one group in English. But it's good if you think that you have challenges and disability to look it up with your healthcare system.
Okay, so the first point of contact, I would say, for everyone is for people who have an undiagnosed disability. At the moment, it would be the Vårdcentralen, right? So the kind of the healthcare service. But as preferred, there's many opportunities also within the university, depending on the different disabilities. And so in that case, do students need to take any type of test to receive a diagnosis?
Well, they might have been taking some tests at the medical healthcare system, but we don't do any tests and we don't do any treatment or we don't assess our students. This has to be done at some other place before coming to us. I know when it comes to dyslexia, for example, reading and writing disability, that includes tests. It's nothing that we do.
What if when the student arrives to Sweden and they realize that they need help, do they need to go to the Swedish healthcare system in that case?
I would recommend them to contact the healthcare system.
So how does the work within the Swedish healthcare system differ from the disability services here at Lund University?
It differs a lot. As I said, we don't do any treatment. We're not medical staff. We try to read and understand the documents and the certificates regarding students' different diagnoses. We're not experts in each diagnosis. So the more clear the document is, stating what kind of challenges the student has, that is a cause of their disability, the more happy we will be.
I also wanted to ask, what kind of challenges have you seen that students face the most in recent years who study at Lund University?
I think one big challenge for the students I meet is to navigate within this big university. There's plenty of faculties, there are plenty of staff, who to contact with what information, in what time. You see yourself as a student at Lund University. You don't see yourself as a student at this specific department. We are kind of organized in specific departments with specific roles and stuff. Being able to navigate, I think, is a challenge for many students, especially students that already have a challenge.
Yeah, and what would you tell students who are a bit nervous about asking for help in this case?
Don't be afraid of asking for help, because even if we're organized in different departments, we who work at Lund University always or often know where the student questions belongs to. So even if it's not my question, I will refer the students in the right way if I don't have the answer for myself. So please reach out to anyone. And there's a lot of people who to reach out to. It could be a study advisor, a program coordinator, disability support, the student health center. There's so many doors to knock on. So just knock on, even if you don't know which door you should go to, knock on one door and we'll help you.
That is some great advice. Thank you. And also wanted to ask, as an international student, of course, we kind of see the difference of we kind of think that there's different services for international students and for local Swedish students. Is it right, or are they the same thing?
The support is the same for local and international students, but maybe the international students have experience from support that were organized in a different way. Maybe they had a program in their computer or their mobile phone that we don't offer from their home university. And it could also be a difference who pays for the support. Is it Lund University or is it the home university? And that is depending on what is written in the agreement. But the support, I would say, is the same.
You touched on something also important, that is there any cost for a student to access these services when they come to Lund University studying, actually like an international student studying master's, a bachelor's, or anything full-time here?
No, there's no cost for the student for the support.
That's great. So it's accessible for anyone, no matter their background, and that is really good to know. And what advice would you give to students with disabilities coming to Lund? Is there something they should do beforehand or wait until they come here?
It's good if they have their documents before, and preferably in English. If they obtain and collect their documents, it would be of help also if they have like a document from their home university, if they have had support before from a former university. That could also help us. I would recommend the student to reach out early in the process. Even if you're not able to, as I said before, if you're not able to do the formal application, you can reach out to ask your questions and we can prepare as much as we can.
Okay, that's great. And what are some misconceptions about studying with a disability? I feel like that is something that also hinders some people from discussing it.
Yes, one misconception is maybe that students with disabilities get lower academic standards. But I think that in reality, students with support have the same course goals as any other student. So with the right support, they can achieve their goals just like any other student. They don't have lower standards.
I think actually speaking about academics, how does your work combine also with teachers' work in supporting them in their academics? Because of course they are going to be the ones that are providing the education. So how do you work with teachers to ensure that the student actually gets all the full support they need?
Well, I don't have daily contact with teacher, but we are always happy to be consulted by the teachers if they have questions regarding how to accommodate, for example, an exam or how to navigate regarding this support. We don't inform teachers on what type of disability the students have. We inform the department or the student does it himself, what kind of support they need. But the cause of why you have support, we don't inform. So the teacher doesn't know what disability that is behind all this need of support. But we're happy if the teacher or the professor or the examiner reaches out to discuss how can I make this exam as accessible for this student, and we can have an open conversation regarding that. This has been done before, and you can think about this, of course. And then we also work at another level. We try to be there where the teaching staff is, where they're educated. So if they have a course, we can be there as a part of their education to discuss what is a disability? How does this affect the study situation? What can be done? We can give tips and recommendations. We have written a handbook for accessible teaching, for example, where we state different kinds of disabilities and what to think of. And we're very happy if one department invites us to discuss during 1 hour with the teachers together. How do we work more inclusive? How do we make a supporting environment? And there's webinars that we attend and conferences is held with the topic. So I think there's small things happening every day.
Okay, so it's a really all-around supportive environment here. You get the support services, you get also professors and teachers who are kind of educated or try to get educated on this topic. So really Lund University tries to be as accessible as possible. Is there anything else you would like to mention?
If you reach out early, we're always there. Don't hesitate to ask for help. We have a limited amount of time to do follow-ups and to reach out to students. It's not that easy to know what you need when you're just in the beginning and everything is new. You're in the new town, you're in a new country, in a new university. You don't know what kind of support you need. We always say that you're welcome back. We can always add something. We can always renew your decision of support if you just contact us.
Thank you so much. That is really some very good advice for all students coming at Lund University in general, whether you might have a disability where you feel like you need extra help or support. Disability Support Services is there for you. So thank you for today, Ida.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Lund University International Podcast. If you're interested in learning more about Lund University, you can go to our website, lunduniversity.lu.se. You can also follow us on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and X. And you can connect with our amazing student ambassadors on Unibody. Don't forget to subscribe, and we look forward to bringing you a new episode very soon.